In this lecture, we shall look at how the Internet phenomenon started and the phases of development it went through. In 1969, ARPANET, or Arpanet, was the first real network to run on a packet switching technology. On October 29, 1969, computers at Stanford and UCLA connected for the first time. In effect, they were the first hosts on which what would one day become the Internet. UNIX. In 1969, another major milestone during the 60s was the inception of UNIX, the operating system whose design heavily influenced that of Linux and FreeBSD, the operating systems most popular in today's web servers/web hosting services. ARPANET network. An ARPANET network was established between Harvard and MIT and BBN in 1970. Emails were first developed in 1971 by Ray Tomlinson, who also made the decision to use the @ symbol to separate the username from the computer name, which later on became the domain name. In 1974, we saw the beginning of TCP/IP. This was a breakthrough year when a proposal was published to link ARPA-like networks together into a so-called internetwork, which would have no central control and would work around a transmission control protocol, which eventually became TCP/IP. In 1977, there was a big year for the development of the Internet as we know it today. It's the year the first PC modem, developed by Dennis Hayes and Dale Hetherington, was introduced and initially sold to computer hobbyists. The first bulletin board system, or BBS, was developed during the blizzard in Chicago in 1978. 1978 is also the year that brought the first unsolicited commercial email message, later known as spam, sent out to over 600 Californian ARPANET users by Gary Turk. While many people credit Kevin McKenzie with the invention of the emotion icon, in 1979 it was Scott Flellman in 1982 who proposed using a joke rather than the original proposed by McKenzie. The modern-day emo icon was born. In January 1st, 1983, was the deadline for ARPANET computers to switch over to TCP/IP protocols developed by Vencom Clef. A few hundred computers were affected by the switch. The name server was also developed in 1983. The domain name system was created in 1984 along with the first domain name servers, or DNS. The domain name system was important in that it made addresses on the Internet more human-friendly compared to its numerical IP address counterparts. The DNS servers allowed Internet users to type in an easy-to-remember domain name and then convert it into the IP address automatically. Also in 1988, the Internet Relay Chat was first deployed, paving the way for real-time chat and instant messaging programs we use today. One of the first major Internet worms was released in 1988, referred to as the Morris worm. It was written by Robert Tappan Morris and caused major interruptions across large parts of the Internet. In 1991, some major innovations to the world of the Internet were made. The first web page was created, and much like the first email explained what email was, its purpose was to explain what the World Wide Web was. One of the more interesting developments of this era, though, was the first webcam. It was deployed at a Cambridge University computer lab, and its sole purpose was to monitor a particular coffee maker so the lab users could avoid wasted trips to an empty coffee pot. The first browser was developed in 1994. Mosaic's first big competitor, Netscape Navigator, was released in the following year. Google went live in 1998, revolutionizing the way in which people find information online. Napster launched, opening up the gates to mainstream sharing of audio files over the internet in 1998. In 2001, Wikipedia was born. With the dot-com collapse still going strong, Wikipedia launched in 2001, one of the websites that paved the way for collection web content generation/social media. 2003 saw Skype coming in to be released to the public, giving a user-friendly interface to voice over IP calling. The biggest innovation of 2007 was almost certainly the iPhone, which was wholly responsible for the renewed interest in mobile web applications and design. The first internet election took place in 2008 with the US presidential election. It was the first year that national candidates took full advantage of all the internet had to offer. Hillary Clinton jumped on board early with YouTube campaign videos. Virtually every candidate had a Facebook page or a Twitter feed or both. The 2008 elections placed the internet securely at the forefront of politics and campaigning, a trend that is unlikely to change anytime in the near future. Thank you.